Hello again everyone, and welcome back to another video. First up, I would like to apologize about the small break. As some of you may know, I have been going through and testing different Steam games natively installed on the Replay. My intention is to test as many games in my library as I can by booting them up and seeing if they are playable. However, I have skipped a few that look like they obviously won't run on the Replay. There was also a user on the forum who asked about Fortnite. While I have never played it myself, I took a moment to grab the Epic Store client and see if it would run. I first downloaded the client on the Replay. I tried to install it, but it would not install correctly. The installer said it needed updated, but it would not do anything. I tried to repair the install and still had no luck. Thus, I repeated the process on my regular PC. I got the launcher set, made sure Fortnite booted, and then I put a USB flash drive in and moved everything over to the Replay. Once on the Replay, like before, I could not get the Epic Game Launcher to even come up, much less get into Fortnite. You can even see here that it does not show up in the task manager after trying to start it. Steve over on the forum is aware of the issue. Thus, I hope they're able to get it sorted for people who would like to play Fortnite. As a small side note, some of you might have seen me posting around surrounding the Metro Exodus controversy. I don't mind that there is another PC game client to give gamers more choice. I do, however, mind that Epic is trying to bring more of the console exclusivity mindset to PC gaming. Even more so when their client lacks some basic features as well as having some security issues. I believe as many games should come to as many platforms or storefronts as possible, allowing each gamer to choose for themselves. Before we begin, as I have mentioned in some of my other videos, it is always a good idea to periodically check and make sure that all your drivers are up to date. Updating your graphics driver, if one is available, might resolve some audio or video issues that you may have had in games prior. You can refer to my video on how to update your drivers on the Replay. I'll have it linked in the video description below. The most current one, as of this video, is January 17th. With all that out of the way, let's get into some games. First up on our list, and get ready for some cringe here, is for the awesome. The game is a semi-sequel to the 2009 title of A Reckless Disregard for Gravity. Released in 2011, this game takes place 6 years after 2011. The sport of base jumping that saw people take dives off of floating buildings to do stunts in Upper Boston has now become outlawed. However, you will be continuing to do so in the name of peaceful protest, as you dive off and dodge buildings along with other obstacles on your way down. The better your score is, the more teeth you will earn, and you use those teeth to unlock future levels. The game does feature controller support, but for some reason, it only seems to work correctly for me when I launch the game through big picture mode. Looking back, the game seems to keep a steady 60 FPS for the most part. Next up on the list is a game called About Love, Hate, and the Other Ones that was released in 2014. While it does not feature controller support natively, I would imagine that you can use Controller Companion to get some basic support set up. If not, since it uses a point-and-click movement style, something like the Logitech K400 combo that I have talked about before should work just fine. In this neat puzzle platform game, you can swap between using our two leads to use their ability to traverse obstacles and platforms. Love spreads their love in the form of a kiss to pull an object closer, while the antisocial hate does the opposite, pushing it away. This allows you to position things to make it to the end level button and move along. This is an easy to pick up and challenging to master, neat little puzzle game. Moving down the list here, we have a retro-inspired arcade runner released in 2017 called AFTERGRINDER. This one comes with the well-deserved tagline of die, retry, and die again. The game features 3 different playable characters that once unlocked change the difficulty. You can take them through 90 fast-paced levels that span across 3 different worlds. The game is backed by what the developers describe as a heart-thumping techno soundtrack. The game supports controllers, and the only issue is a few frame drops now and again. Since this game is a racer, that can be make or break for some. However, the game tends to go for about $1 or so during sales, and it is definitely worth a pickup to try, occasional frame drop or not. Next in line is Albert and Otto, The Adventure Begins. This is a mostly grayscale, dark puzzle platform game released in 2015 that might give off a little bit of a limbo feeling. Things are set in 1939 Germany, having the player use Albert and Otto to lift, slide, shoot, and pull to make their way through about 3 hours worth of gameplay. I have only played for about 40 minutes myself, and the game seems to have mixed reviews on Steam. Players mention that the controls feel delayed and the physics feel a little off. Nevertheless, if you're a fan of Limbo, this might be another one to grab when it is on sale. In the description for Albert and Otto, it mentions that the story spans across 3 episodes. At first, I took this to mean that there were more games in a series to continue the story. Thus, I took a look at the developer's catalog on Steam. In doing so, I found games with titles like Frisky Business, There's Poop in My Soup, and Super Duper Party Pooper. While I am in no way bothered or against such games, I found it interesting that they have a higher rating than Albert and Otto. The last game to be featured in today's video is Ancient Planet Tower Defense. As the name mentions, this is a classic-style tower defense game from 2015. The game features 40 levels to conquer, wrapped around a storyline about recollections of the veterans of intergalactic wars. It gives you access to towers that are upgradable both on the battlefield as well as a system to unlock new upgrades as you progress and earn experience. Out of all 5 games featured in today's video, this is the one that I ended up having the most fun with. I had a blast, no pun intended, keeping the forces of evil out of my tower. There is no controller support for this one, but like before, the K400 combo should do the trick. There also seems to be a mobile version of the game for Android that goes under the title Ancient Planet Tower Defense Offline. While I have not tried the mobile version yet, the artwork and screenshots look to be near identical to the PC version. As I have mentioned before, one of the great things about PC gaming is the selection of titles. Not only that, but the great deals that you can get on such titles. If you're interested in any of the games featured in today's or a future video, always remember to shop around. Keep an eye on steamdb.info to track prices on games sold through the Steam client. Also, check out the site isthereanydeal.com. This site shows current and all-time best prices for games across multiple storefronts. Then, there are things like key bundle sites, the most well-known being Humble Bundle. Another popular one is Fanatical. These places offer packs of similar themed games and or books at great prices. They tend to switch up bundles on a recurring basis, so it's always good to look at it every once in a while. Lastly, when it comes to deals, Slick Deals and Cheap Ass Gamer can be good to take a look at now and again for deals in general. Finally, before I bid a happy gaming to everyone, I wanted to take a moment to mention that a really great YouTuber by the name of Top Hats and Champagne, who has some really well done videos posted on his channel, namely my personal favorite of his being Stupid Console Peasant Quotes, has just recently launched and already hit the initial funding goal for a new game under the company Insert Disc 22. The game, titled Born Punk, follows Evie, whose last name I'm not going to try to pronounce because I know I'll butcher it. She is a former corporate combat hacker, and it is a narrative, puzzle-driven, classic point-and-click adventure wrapped in a 90s pixel art cyberpunk aesthetic. The game features the ability to approach dialogue and puzzles from different angles. This will result in differences with potential interactions with other characters, differences in difficulty to overcome certain obstacles, and also cause varying actions to have different outcomes. The game will contain a comprehensive, dark universe with humorous undertones. It also has full voiceovers that welcome point-and-click junkies as well as gamers new to the genre alike. The game has a projected release date of January 2020, with plans in the work to release on PC, consoles, and mobile devices. Links to the Kickstarter with more information and a game demo will be included in the video description below. I wanted to thank everyone for hanging in there with me, both recent and returning subscribers up to this point. I'm almost at 100, so that's pretty exciting for me, and I appreciate it. My goal is to test about 4 or 5 games at a time, and then release a video with each set. With all that being said, happy gaming.